Coming back to the main counter display, we have additional notification indicators and buttons. From left to right, we have the timeline data online status indicator, the session data online status indicator, automatic delay compensation indicator, and the solo and mute status indicators. Now let's explain what all these various indicators mean to the user. If any of the files in the track playlists, that is, any media that is within our timeline, happens to be offline, currently being processed, or otherwise unavailable for playback, then the timeline data online status indicator will turn red. Likewise, when the timeline data online status indicator is green, then all media within your timeline is online and available for playback. If any audio that is referenced to the session is offline, being processed, or otherwise unavailable for playback, then the session data online status indicator will glow red. If it's green, then everything is referenced properly and all processing is complete. Earlier in this series, we talked about Pro Tools automatic delay compensation and how that helps the user maintain sync when using heavy effects processing that induces varying amounts of latency into the session. When automatic delay compensation is engaged, the delay indicator will show. When the symbol is glowing green, automatic delay compensation is engaged and has a sufficient amount of samples per channel to maintain proper sync. If the indicator glows red, then you do not have a sufficient number of samples per channel to effectively compensate for the delay being induced into the session. To resolve this issue, simply increase the amount of delay compensation available. If the maximum setting is too much, then you might benefit by disabling some intensive processing plugins to again maintain proper sync. Or instead applying the effect through use of Audio Suite plugins, which will permanently process the track, but can be played back with no more additional processing. Additionally, we have the Global Solo Status Indicator. If we have soloed any tracks within our session, the Global Solo Status Indicator will glow yellow, indicating that a track or tracks have been soloed in our session. This indicator not only serves as a notification symbol, but also allows the user to click on the indicator and globally disable all solo tracks throughout the session. Lastly, we have the Global Mute Status Indicator. When any tracks in the session are muted, the Global Mute Status Indicator will glow orange. However, unlike the Global Solo Status Indicator, with the Global Mute Indicator, you do not have the option to globally disable all muted tracks in the session. This is purposeful as you can enable mute automation in the additional track automation lanes like we learned about earlier. Needless to say, it would be counterproductive to override intentional mute automation or when needing to temporarily mute specific audio tracks when wanting to bounce different versions of mixes, including or not including particular elements. Before moving on from the main counter display, note that when creating a MIDI track within the session, additional parameters come into view directly to the right of the main counter display. Let's create a MIDI track or instrument track by using the shortcut Command-Shift-N. Let's set our track parameters and hit OK. You'll notice the additional display loads up. Let's quickly discuss the purpose of this additional display, and we'll go ahead and increase the sizing of our MIDI track, and then enable the pencil tool, found in the Edit Tools display, so we can draw in MIDI note information. We'll talk more about the pencil tool a little bit later.